Okay.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? For all those who may not know who I am, I'm Rev J, and and Joy is my co-host,
Hey guys.
and this is our show. Let's talk about it. Today, we have a special guest, Ladie Vee. Now, the wonders of technology and Facebook is that Facebook allows you to connect with people that you haven't seen in years. That then come to find out you guys have a great synergy. So we have known Lady V for years. I mean, way back. I mean, church
All my life.
choir way back.
Right, all your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Oh, yeah. You know. And like her mom and my dad have been great friends for years. And we pretty much all grew up together. She's older than we are. I know she's older because I'm 40, but I'm not gonna tell age because I don't know actually age, but I know she's older because I'm 40.
Right. You were a baby. I was a teenager.
uh, but it's so great. She actually had me on her show. She has a show called Breaking the Silence. What's your show all about?
Breaking the silence, you have a voice. It's just basically the same. We talk about things, different topics, but the main thing is everybody has a voice. A lot of times people have things to say on different topics, and we want to have that open forum where people feel free to talk about, whatever the topic is. They have the right to share how they really feel.
Awesome, awesome. And her show is on every Tuesday, and they go live on Facebook every Tuesday at 6 p.m. But today, and she's on a guest today. And today, we're gonna be talking about ultimatums. Do they work? Um, um, so first, we're gonna talk about the show Ultimatum. That was on Netflix. It's a great show. A couple months ago, I was clicking on something, looking for a series to watch. I came up, watched the first episode, and I was stuck until the very end. And after I seen it, I told my wife, I said, "You need to watch this. This is very interesting." And the Ultimatum show series is about couples who do an experiment. One, they're giving their partner a ultimatum to either marry me or leave me. But the crazy thing about it is that the whole ultimatum thing is that they will allow their partner to live with someone else for about 3 weeks. Now, let me tell you something. If you have a bad relationship, do not do that. 9 times out of 10, your partner is going to be going with somebody else. If you have a good relationship, don't do it, because 9 times out of 10, your partner.
That was good.
And,
Not gonna be good.
Yeah, and in that show, we had I think a very couple points that stood to me was that one, the way the show works is that the first week, everybody get to talk to everybody to find out how they vibe with each other, and then the second week or the second episode, they now get to choose who they want to spend the next 3 weeks with. To surprise, one couple, Hunter and I think Alexis.
Yes.
As soon as they came up to that point, Hunter stood up and said, "Nope, nope, nope. I love you. I don't care. I'm going to marry you." he probably realized that I don't want no one else to be touching a woman, which is smart.
Right.
Yeah, but he didn't have that. He really didn't have a problem because the guy she wanted didn't want her. He told her, like, "I'm not attracted to you." But I think that a lot of that came when she started talking like, "If you're not making enough money, I need my man and they make more money than I do." And she had some real high, and he was just like, "Oh no, you're not about to set me up with okie doke."
Well, I think when I was watching it, those two were very mature, and the Alexis and Hunter. in the sense that like they very well established. They got money. The woman got money. You know,
Right.
So again, you know, you can't, none of those, no, it didn't seem like any of those guys there were like, you know, in her ballpark. So she's like, you know, even though the one guy called her like, I don't like you. She like, I'm way past your league.
But I think that where I got stuck was, you know, there's a difference in ultimatums and non-negotiables. You know,
okay.
one couple who were talking about the children. You know, she didn't want children. She was very clear. I don't think that I would be a good mom. I don't want children. And he wants children. Well, there to me, it's not an ultimatum. That's a non-negotiable. Because the thing is, if I want children, then I can't negotiate that. It's not a compromise, because she kept saying, well, I think we should compromise. No, you can't compromise children, because you're making it clear that you don't want children. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want children, then you have to get with someone who doesn't want children. So correct. I think that in that situation, there was no need to even go and find somebody else, be with somebody else. You don't have the same value system that I have as far as family. So we're not compatible. I may like you in all the other areas, but if you don't like children, then we shouldn't be together.
Right. Yeah. Right. I agree, because in a relationship, compatibility is everything. I mean, when after you're done with the honeymoon stage, about 1 or 2 years, and you get to the real long relationship of marriage, and now you're gonna be question is, what do we like together? What can we do together? How can we have fun together? Mm-hmm. And if you can't, our goals, it comes down to the principle of two people being one. Are we on the same? We don't need to do the same thing, but we have to have agreement in order to move forward and be enjoyable. And I say this: anybody get married. Anybody get married. The question is, though, will you have an enjoyable time? And to me, just to me, maybe not anyone else, if I got to spend the rest of my life with one person, it better be enjoyable. It got to be enjoyable.
And not only that, I think that the thing is, you should look for common things. You know, it's not going to be where you have everything in common, but it does need to be the main things. People should not. Let's go back to the show for a second. So I'm not really into ultimatums, because I feel as though ultimatums means that I'm being forced into something. And I feel like there should be a choice. And when you talk about marriage and you're giving a person, well, either you're going to marry me or this is going to end, that's not giving that person a fair chance to really sort some things out and know that they want to be in this relationship with you. It takes time to know that. But at the same time, I believe that when you know what it is that you want in a relationship, when you have spent some time with yourself and you're like, okay, what type of person do I want to have in my life? You know, you got to be clear on you. You know, a lot of times we bring people in our life and we don't even know what we like, you know. So now here comes the arguments, because it's, well, what do you like to do? Well, what do you like to do? Where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? What do you like to eat? You know, it has to be where there's some things that you have in common, so that you're not going down that, after, like you said, after the honeymoon, now we're just sitting there looking at each other, right? Because that's how a lot of relationships fall apart, because the individual people don't really know what they want. So when they get together, now they're putting pressure on the other person to come up with a clue for them.
That's good.
And I also believe that there are certain categories in relationships that you really can't compromise on, like children. Because my thing is, sometimes people may say, oh, I'll just go with the flow, or, you know, maybe once I give her a baby, she'll love the baby. But you never think about the resentment that may be built in. that you may end up having to be faced with. And people, I believe there's certain core values that some people have, and everybody as individuals, we all have ideas that we have for our life. Now, when we get with someone else, I would say that first find out if you guys have the same idea for your life,
right?
Before, because I mean, if you don't talk about that stuff, you could literally be like, oh well, I love him, so yeah, I know he doesn't work, but I want to live in a $1 million home. Well, sis, if he's comfortable being a bum, I don't know where you gonna get the $1 million home from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and vice versa.
Exactly. And you can't push somebody. I mean, you can't push them, but my thing is that causes so much animosity. There's so much fighting, and you're so much. You find yourself years and years and years still digging when you could have got with someone who's like, look, all right, I'm with that. Let's get a game plan. I'll do my part, you do your part, and then within a few years, look, this is the fruits of our labor.
Now I think ultimatums are all over. We all in whether it be work relationship, in life, we're all given ultimatums. You go into an environment, they have rules. Like this man, I worked for Amazon for a minute, and again they have ultimatums. Either you work faster or you get fired. And so I think again, when we talk about ultimatums, I don't think it's a bad thing, because some people, needs that push. I think some people get comfortable. I heard of a couple of people who gave a person an ultimatum in their relationship, and it went their way. Now you gotta understand this though. If you give somebody an ultimatum, they must want the same. They must have a desire for this. They must have a desire for the same thing that you want. In other words, you can't give a person an ultimatum to marry you if they don't want to be married. That won't work.
Right.
They must have they must have a desire to do it. If they said I don't get married, you should just walk away.
But if they say that,
or
if they say they need time, sometimes you need time, and you can't. I mean, go back to what you said with the job. Ultimatums, yes, are given to us in every aspect of our life. But with the ultimatums, there's always expectations that are already set. So if I don't talk, if you don't know my expectations, so for instance, you got a guy and a girl, they meet. Now, he may say, I'm just trying to date and that's it. I'm not really looking for anything serious.
Mm-hmm.
She may be like, I really am ready to get married. So her expectation of him is not real, because he's already said in the beginning, I'm not looking for a serious relationship. So you can't now get with him and say, oh, well, we've been going out for 4 weeks. And because this is what we do, you're the one. No, you can't. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work where you give a person an ultimatum when they say, I'm going to go and I'm going to see other people. I'm going to date other people. I'm going to go out there and, you just in the rotation. If he tell you you're in the rotation,
you're in the rotation. Don't stop crying when he said no.
May not be until 2 Wednesdays from now, because you in the rotation. Now she's sitting there looking at her phone, going, "Well, the next time I talk to him, I'm gonna let him know that he's got to make a choice and he's got to marry me." No, honey, you was just in the rotation. You wasn't. You was never in that mindset of that person to get. And that's what I'm saying. So even on a job, expectations are already set. You already know. They already tell you in the handbook. You got this many times to get in the currents. You got this many times to be late. You got this many times to whatever. And then they have what you call progressive counseling. Did you go get a verbal, a written, and then a final? They already let you know that. So you already know that the ultimatum is coming. Either you're gonna do your job or you're gonna get
I think
That's
that's
just how it is. So, like, if you can't tell a person, well, you got to go get a job when he didn't have a job when you met him.
uh,
If he didn't have
no.
a job when you
Now I
met
have a
him,
question.
now
That's
you
a
give him an
question.
ultimatum, he's gonna go get a job.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. How does that work? Like, like a person, you meet a person, right? And when you meet them, they don't have a job, but you guys been, talking, dating, and now you guys, the relationship is progressing. And now you're like, because people, the challenge about relationships is that people change.
Yeah.
People change, their vision change, their expectations change, what they want changes. So how now, is it okay to start asking for things when you change?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
it's okay to. I think that it's okay to ask for things, but I think that the communication needs to be clear. Again, change. I can deal with change. Okay, I can deal with. We got together, and now we've been together for a few years, and you may have liked this. Now you want this. Okay, I can go with the change. What I can't go with is you just all of a sudden said, well, I decided today I'm just not gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna be a bum. Yeah. Because we've already talked about non-negotiable, and the non-negotiable, it's something that's just a non-negotiable. Like I don't smoke. I like people who smoke cigarettes. So if I made that clear in the beginning, that's a non-negotiable. So if my husband came home and just lit up a cigarette, no, you didn't smoke 5 years ago. Why are you smoking now? It's some things you not allowed to change when you talk about the non-negotiables. Now, the things
Yeah.
that we change is the things that doesn't make the other person uncomfortable. Yeah, you could do that. My hair was long, and now I'm constantly contemplating: do I want to cut my hair? So I give him because he did meet me with long hair. So, baby, what do you think about me cutting my hair? And he'll go, well, okay, that's change. But when you just plain old, oh, I'm never cooking again.
Right.
What? I don't feel like I should be in the kitchen.
Like complete lifestyle changes.
Hey, you gotta get back in that kitchen. Now, that's something else to talk about. So let's talk about real quick. Now, the show Ultimatum was about, I think, about 6 couples, 8 couples. And again, they wanted this. The goal was to get the person to marry them. So they thought that, well, let this person go experience someone else, and maybe by the time they come back, they would have valued me enough, miss me enough to make them want to say I do. Of course, if you watch the show, you find out a lot of couples just didn't get back together again, or if they did get together, they didn't get married. There's like one couple that she actually got married after the show. So, and I don't think they have a season 2.
And I wasn't expecting that couple to get married and come out with a baby. I was so surprised.
I mean, I don't agree with that, because I feel like you're forcing the person into something that they're not ready for. And I feel like you shouldn't have to give a person an ultimatum to marry you.
I agree. Right. I agree. I like this. I totally agree that, again, if a person, this should not be ultimatums. They should be agreements. Like, again, there should be some agreements. In a relationship, there must be agreements. Well, this is what I like. Again, if excuse me, in relationships there are agreements. There are agreements. And again, and you must have them in order to have a functional relationship. And so, what, this is what I like. So don't say, for example, if I like chicken, don't cook me steak 4 days out of the week if I like chicken. If that's one of my favorite dishes, you have to. A person is a person. Everybody has these needs and he likes that the person needs to have those needs, emotional needs met. It's like an emotional bank. And again, of course, you're not going to check every I or dot every I, cross every T. That's not the case. But you need to do your best to make sure those emotional needs are met. If not, they go out and try to get. They will go out and try to get those needs met in other ways. So I don't. So again, so now the challenge is though. So I think again, if a person really values you, you should not have to give an ultimatum because they should be doing their best to make sure your emotional needs are met. For example, my wife told me years ago. This is what she told me years ago. I said, she said, I need to get my hair done. So I will float checks to make sure that whenever she need to go to the hair salon, she can go. That was never a question. Whether it be the amount of money was never a question, but that's what she needed, and I make sure that she has what she needs. And again, I always try to make sure she has what she needs. If she likes something, I try to make sure that I do it. If she likes something that I typically don't do. There's things I'm starting to do that she told me she liked, and I'll do it. Why? I want her emotional needs to be met.
But I think that and that should definitely be not. You know, for me, meeting the emotional needs of a person is okay. Some of these things are in the couple one day, and that's just not that's not a negotiable topic. Emotional needs. You're making sure that in the beginning you set the expectation. You know, my husband, he like, oh, if you don't have me in this by next year, I'm gonna leave you. No, we don't give ultimatums like that when we love someone. We work together as a team and we talk about how we're gonna build this together and how we're gonna work it together. But when you talk about I'm just gonna give you an ultimatum and you either do it or you don't, I don't know. I don't think that's fair because a lot of times maybe the person is really.
Oh, say again. I came in choppy. Your last part. Say last part again.
I said I think that it's unfair when you're asking a person to do something that they're just not wanting to do, to give them an ultimatum. Like, I want a dog. Okay, I use this for an example. I want a dog. Now, I didn't have a dog when we got married, but we already named the dog. We don't even have the dog when we named the dog. Now, I know Derek is going to get me a dog, but I can't say I want this dog on my birthday, and if I don't have this dog on my birthday, this is it. It's over. No,
Yeah.
I know you understand. Our wants and our needs is something different, and you know that's when we get together, we talk about wants and needs, the compatibility. He rides horses. So that was one of the things he was clear on. He wanted somebody that liked to ride horses. Now, it would be unfair of me to all of a sudden, well, I lied. I don't like riding horses. I don't want riding the horses. You know, because now the expectation is we ride horses together. I like karaoke. He doesn't sing. I sing. But he goes with me to sing because he knows that that's what I like to do. But to give a person an ultimatum and tell them, okay, you need to make this amount of money. Well, when I met him, he was doing this. Now I can't give you an ultimatum because I want you to do what I want you to do. I don't feel that's fair.
I agree.
So I think we all saying that. So you're saying that, is it good to give ultimatum if, what if the expectations were already made up in the front? Say for example, somebody said, "Oh, I'm gonna marry you," right? And then like again, like 3 or 4 years pass, and you still not married. Would that require ultimatum?
Absolutely. Because
Okay.
I believe that when you both met and you talked and you said that you both wanted to get married, now you need to talk about what is the time frame. You know, what do you feel is the time frame that two people should get? And everybody's answer is different. You know, some people, they know right off the bat, hey, I'm going to marry you. I want to marry you, and that's it. You know, but at the same time, you got to let the person know. Now, again, if I want to get married and he says, well, I don't want to, I don't see myself getting married for 4 or 5 years, I can't get mad.
Yeah.
Because he said 4 or 5 relationship, you know, knowing that he wasn't going to be ready to marry me for maybe 5 years. So I can't turn around and say,
Right.
well, this is not fair, you know, because he already made it known that he wasn't ready to get married for at least 5 years.
Yeah. And I agree. And again, even in this show, Ultimatum, a lot of them were very young, and I think he's pushing a person to get married. I mean, they're only 20 years old. I'm like, you don't trust me. You don't get married 20.
They young.
Wait,
I
just
wish
wait.
I was that young.
Just wait a while. Trust me. Go give us a couple years.
But here's the thing: what they're going to find out is giving the ultimatum and pushing a person into something that they're not ready for is going to go into an end anyway because they weren't ready for the relationship. So that's the thing. You push the person into something and now they're going to struggle because they just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You know, that's no different than a girl saying, oh, well, I want a baby. I want a baby. And he's saying, well, let's wait a couple of years. But now you're going to get pregnant anyway.
Now, I think, yeah, and the challenge on a show, some of the women brought the men onto the show. And like, you know, some of the men were like, I don't want to do this. Yeah, I don't want to go spend another 3 weeks with someone else. But they did it. I guess they did it with the thought that if they go with someone else, they're going to miss me so much that they want to come back and marry me. They come and find out that did not happen. I think one couple, I think what was the two,
Jake and what's her name? Alice? Something. Alex?
not Alexis, no.
Who are you talking about?
The skinny girl and the black guy.
Oh, Shanique and
Shanique, yeah, Shanique, and Shanique and
Dang.
No, Shanique and that's when she had sex with.
Oh, Randall.
Shanique and Randall, yeah, he didn't want to go on, and she's like, "Come on, I need to do this experiment." Matter of fact, couple of them didn't want to do it, and
Jake
again,
didn't want to do it. He kept telling her like, "I don't want to go on here. I don't want to do this."
Yeah, like again. So again, you know, I think I agree that, you know, again, if you gotta force somebody, now this is for people who are not married. If you gotta force somebody to do something, it's not 9 times out of 10, it may not turn out right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I would never want to be with someone that does not. I always say this: never get emotionally attached to someone that's not emotionally attached to you. So you can't allow people to emotionally, you can't force that. That has to be something that you both want, and your heart to let you know, oh, this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
I got a question for my wife. Should a person make an ultimatum if they met when they were around 22? The one person wants to marry once they finish college and get settled in life, but the other person wants to get married 3 years later before they graduate. But they are but quote, they are financially stable.
How long they been together?
They met in 20. They met around 2022.
It said they met when they were around 22 years old.
Yeah. Say again?
Well, how old are they now? They should graduate college. No.
Well, I'm saying one want to wait until they get finished college. Other one want to get married now.
How old are they now?
There's no matter. The question is, should a person make an ultimatum?
No, but it does matter, because if they met at 22 and say they were like 23, then no, I don't say.
Went to college late in life.
Oh, okay.
Went to college late in life. Also, they met at 22, and one person saying that I want to wait till I'm done college in order to get married. Other person saying, no, I want to get married 3 years later.
After they finish college?
Yeah. Yeah.
I still say that both people would have to agree to that. You know, if one person is saying yes and the other person is saying no, then they're not in agreement that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think when you meet people and you talk about a relationship with somebody, you should get all the facts up front. What they want, what their vision is, when they plan on having them, when they want to go to school, what do they want to own a home? Do they want children? I mean, you need to get everything. Everybody fall in love, all these kisses, having sex, and nobody's talking.
That's because they're too busy kissing and having sex.
That's true. That's true.
And like the sex may be good, but
somewhere in there, you need to have some pillow talk and find out what the other person did. Come from under the blanket for a minute and breathe and have these conversations, because the thing is, when you fail to communicate the main things, it's not gonna work.
Exactly.
It's not gonna work. You're gonna have to backtrack, and you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, what have I done? So while you in the moment, and after the moment's over, you better communicate, because if you don't, then you're stuck. And that's what people don't realize. And I've seen, and I'm gonna say this, you know, a lot of times I've seen it in the church, because a lot of times people have been taught, when you go out. Now, this is during my time. You go out with somebody on 2-3 dates. That's it. I had a friend that he had taken his sister out, and he took her out a couple of times, but he wasn't attracted to her like that. And she went and told the pastor, and the pastor pretty much gave him an ultimatum. He was like, well, if you're going to take her out, then you need to make a commitment. Who does that? You only been out twice. But
no, definitely not. Don't do it.
That dating is not an option. You know, once a guy took you out once or twice, he needed to make a commitment. And you had a lot of people that got with somebody that they should not have gotten with, because they were given that ultimatum and they weren't sure.
Yeah.
1 or 2 dates, you're not sure. I don't even know if I like you 1 or 2 days.
Exactly.
Nevertheless, you for the rest of my life. But that was really how it was back then. You know, it was like, okay, you know, you went out. How was the date? It was good. Okay, went out again. That's it. You're married.
Well, no, I agree. Like, even now, I tell people, you know, go meet some people. You know, the person you meet today may be great, but you may meet somebody even better that fit more of you. You know, spend some time getting to know who you are. And I was on somebody, and they said they want to get married again. I said, are you dating? She said, no, I'm not going on dates. I'm like, we got to get over this my broken heart stuff. If you date somebody and you start to like them, but they don't like you, you will have a broken heart. But you need to get used to it, because I've learned this: dating is not about you finding that person. Dating is about finding what you like.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because as you meet different people, you begin to say, "Oh, I like this. I like this. I don't like that. I like this." But if you never give yourself a chance to really, if you have a habit of just fall in love with the first person you meet, which sometimes people in church talk, oh, just meet one person, don't date nobody. If we don't want to be, I'm like, please don't listen, do not listen to that person.
I just recently got married, and I'm going to tell you, I was single for 12 years.
Wow.
And I would meet guys, and they would ask me, well, why are you single? I said, I'm happily single. See, that's the thing. In order for you to be, now this is me, Ladie Vee, in order for you to be happily married, you got to be happily single. Because when you don't take the time out to spend with you, nobody can come into your life or should have to come into your life to complete you. You should already be complete and whole before you can get with the person, because that is just way too much work. So a lot of times what we're doing is we get with people and I don't like to do anything. I don't like to go anywhere. And they're sitting there, and then now you are causing this person to be in your life and create a life for you. No, you should have a life before you get married. You should be happy single and knowing what you date yourself. Go take yourself out. And I had this one guy, he asked me, he said, well, how do you just go out and eat by yourself? I used to do everything by myself, because I got to the place where I needed to know that I love me enough to do for me. What I expect somebody else to do for me, I want to be able to do for myself. So we get guys caught up because we're like, well, I want you to buy me this, I want you to get nails done, I want you to do this, I want you to do. No, do that for yourself. Love on you. Take yourself to a 5-star restaurant. Take yourself out to dinner. Celebrate your own self Valentine's Day. I was my own Valentine for 12 years. I sure did. And you know what was so funny? Just before I met my husband, it was the last time I spent Valentine's Day by myself. I had sent myself a bouquet of roses, my favorite color, purple and yellow. Sent it to my job with a note from me to me. Happy Valentine's Day. And I love you, V. Girl, you are. And then I went and I bought me a slamming outfit. Joy, boy, that dress was beautiful. And I had always wanted to eat at this place called Chima. It's a 5-star restaurant, Brazilian restaurant in Virginia. I made my reservation, and they had everything set up at the table. And I walked in, and I tell you, I went and got my hair done, my nails done, everything. But at the end, I think my bill was like $200. It was a very expensive restaurant. So when I got ready to leave, I asked the server, I said, can I have my bill? And he said, your bill is already paid for. He said, it was a couple sitting over there, and they so admired how you were dating yourself. They were like, listen, we're going to pay for her dinner. So we wait until we get with somebody to set the standard. No, you set the standard. You set the standard so that people can see that, you know what? Hey, how I do me is how I'm going to be in this relationship. And that is the key things. Then you don't have to have ultimatums, because then when you meet a guy and he sees that you're living your great life, he's like, there's something appealing about you, because nobody is attracted to unappealing people. When you sing the sad story and what happened in your past, and somebody hurt you, and what was me, and I killed the dog, and the dog ate the dog, that's not attractive to them. So they don't want to be
that's good,
in a relationship with you. You got to be loving on you. You got to be looking great for you. You got to be working and being able to do some things for yourself, so that when that person comes along, they're like, wow, look at her. Yeah.
I'll marry you.
Marketable. You become, hey, all eyes on you, because they're seeing that you treat your own self. So then you don't have to give an ultimatum, because he's going to be like, I got to have her. Look, I want her.
Right.
No doubt. Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. Like, for example, I say this all the time. I don't do what I do in work-wise for my family. I do it for me.
Absolutely.
I wake up every morning. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll work all day, all night, because no, I have a dream. And now the benefit is that my family get to enjoy the dream I have, but I do it for me. And because I love my family and I love my wife, I want to share what I do with them. So again, but no one needs to pat me on my back or say, Josh, I need you to get up.
Right.
You know, so I agree that, you know, again, if you don't want to give a person an ultimatum, find somebody that loves themselves more than they will love you, because I think one, people do things for themselves. Bottom line, when a person see that you are a good fit for them, there there'll be no need for ultimatums. As a matter of fact, if there ever is an ultimatum, they will have no problem obliging to the ultimatum because that's what they want. For example, at Amazon, there were a couple of times I was going to get fired because I wasn't packing fast enough. And of course, at Amazon, you have a whole week, and at a certain day, if you haven't packed fast enough, you can get written up. Has that happened a couple of times, you get fired. I'm of the persuasion that nobody's gonna fire me.
Right.
Not if I can control it. So when I got a written up, that next week I went and just focus. I mean, and I was on a night shift, and I was like just boxing and sleeping.
Me too, Josh.
Somebody brought the wrong item, and I hate what it is.
So I have a question. All right, because I know some women who, all right, they probably have broken hearts or whatever. And they can't, or they probably, a lot of times it's also with like women who probably have children and, you know, the father left and they're just like, oh my goodness, how could they? But then they don't want to do anything to really better themselves. But they're like, oh no, I want a man that has X, Y, Z. He needs to come. I need him to have 6 figures. I need him to look good. He can't. And it's like, but sis, do you go to the gym? Like, like, what are we doing? What are your finances looking like? Like, those types of people are looking for people who are driven as well. They're not looking just for, you know, people that they can just take care of. They give money to charity already. They don't need you for that. But I wonder, do you think it's the thing? Because you said you were single for 12 years, right? And within those 12 years, what steps were you taking to actually like get yourself collected? Because I mean, you can't go into another marriage and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember what my ex did, and oh my goodness, and oh, all men not this. And I find that a lot of times women find themselves stuck in a rut because they can't get past, you know, whatever traumatic experience they had. And I'm not downing the experiences, because trust me, I know sometimes you fall in love and you thought it was going to be this, and you thought a lot of times us as women, you know, you meet a man and you're like, I want him. And you think, well, if I sleep with him, I can keep him. Oh, if I have a baby with him, I can keep him. Oh, I'm going to do this and that. Because in your mind, you're like, I'm going to change his mind. Not realizing that they're like, yeah, no, thank you. It was nice. But if I want to bust a move, I'm going to bust a move.
I think that for me, the key thing was finding out where I went wrong in the relationship. I think that a lot of times we look at the other person. If you ask your average person, woman, man, why did your relationship break up? Now, I've been married a few times, so I'm the common denominator. So I you know, as wonderful of a person as I would like to think I am, you know, my light bulb went off when I had that last divorce. I was like, well, and again. So let me like pause. And what I did now, again, I'm a realist. I'm one of those people. I just want to know the truth. And I went to my ex and I asked him. I said, what was good about me and what wasn't? And believe it or not, every single one of them said the same thing.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And it had nothing to do with me being a great cook. It had nothing to do with me being a great mom. All of those things were good, but it was that those couple of little things that, you know, hey, you not cool. And
Mm.
I'm okay with that answer. So what I
Right.
did was, then during those 12 years, I began to work on that. I began to, because I'm a repeated offender. So and
At
I
least you
keep,
admit it.
they say when you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, you little cray cray. I don't want to be cray cray.
Right.
So I gotta change. I gotta change.
Right.
So I began to look at some of those, and that's what we don't do. Like you said, we carry the hurt, we carry the baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. If somebody tells you something, and it comes from more than one person, they don't have a reason to lie to you. Believe what they're saying
Yeah.
and take it to where, you know what, I've really got to change this, and else I'm going to spend the rest of my life by myself, because
Yeah.
now I don't have too many more times to be in too many more relationships. So this is where you got to look at you, and you got to be honest with you, and you know your weaknesses, you know your vulnerabilities, your insecurities, or whatever the case may be. You know that about yourself. So work on those things. Now, is everything going to be perfect? No, but you should have gained, and you, some people, and well, all people, especially women, because we're emotional, you need to spend
Right.
some time by yourself before
Mm.
you, so you can stop bringing all these different people into your life. Spend some time by yourself, and talk to your best friends, talk to the people that love you the most. They'll be honest with you, so that you can
Mm-hmm.
find out, okay, girl, why am I single? Why I ain't got no man? You know, why ain't nobody trying to holler at me in Walmart? Why ain't trying to holler at me? You know, because it's a reason. It is a reason
Yeah.
why every single
Yeah.
time guys see you, they go, and they go the other way. Then you ain't even getting invited out on a date. That is, I
What's
told
bad?
somebody, I said, let me tell you something. In the course of a week, if you haven't at least gotten a wink, because you know guys are pretty bold. I don't care, and you know the dating website will tell you, you know, because people date online, but the common place people go to meet people is in Walmart. So if you ain't trying to get the little stalker guy, somebody should be saying something to you while you getting your
Right.
coffee and
Mm.
11 or something. So if nobody is interested in you constantly, then you gotta like do a self check. Okay, what's wrong with me? I ain't landing a man, because there's men out there. They say ain't
There's
no good
tons
men.
of them. I
At
talk to
least,
them all the time.
at
I
least
don't
got
know.
somebody, a woman saying it now.
Look,
I'm
women
telling
always
you,
said,
ladies,
"Oh,
it's
I don't know
men
what the good
out
men
there.
are. I don't know what the
And
men are."
but the thing is, you can't come with all the drama. You can't come with all
Right.
of the stuff, you know, and that's where we go wrong. We bring all our stuff. It's like, here you go. I want you to deal with it. I want you, but wait, I want you to make six figures. I want you to take care of me. I want you to
Mm-hmm.
do this too, but I also want you to deal with all my drama.
Yeah.
Mm.
Men, they don't want to do it. So you're gonna be by yourself. Spend the time to find out. If your friends tell you you loud, girl, you loud. If your friends tell you you need to lose some weight, girl, they not your friends. Is not gonna lie to you. Stop being in denial. No, I'm not really that big. Your friends are going to tell you the truth. If you want to change, ask your BFF. They'll tell you what's wrong with you, so you can get it together.
Now, what about those women who say, like, well, no, if a man gonna love me, I need him to love me exactly how I am. I don't need to change for no man. He need to love me how I am now. And it's like, how
That's
that's
why
working
you
out for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that working out?
you don't have to
Okay.
accept this. Okay, so it's like this. There's a lot of men out there. It's a lot of women out there. He do not have to choose you, because the thing is, you telling him that if you love me, you just don't love me the way I am, and he's gonna look at you and go, I don't have to do that. I can go get with her right next door.
Yep.
Exactly.
It works both ways. There's a lot of women out there, so that's a crazy statement.
Yeah.
And now we got the World Wide Web.
And the thing about it is, I think that people have to understand there's a difference between being courted and just men just having sex with you. Now, the man will have sex with you. You know,
Absolutely.
9 out of 10, you drop the pants. Okay, he's with it. But that doesn't mean that he wants to be with you. You need to find and make yourself more appealing than just the bedroom.
Well, I say this. You have to be, if you want people to be interested in you, you have to be interested. You have to be, and again, it depends upon what kind of man you want. You know, if you want, if you want a nice man, you need to be interesting. No good man, that's focused, got their thing together, want someone that is boring. That or again, for example, a person like Morris Chestnut. Someone said, "I want a Morris Chestnut." Trust me, you're not that interested. because again, Morris Chestnut is still doing movies. He's still working out. He's still focused on his goals and his career.
And he's still with his wife.
And still with his wife, yes. So,
he ain't gonna leave up to you.
No, never.
So again, you gotta like, even, and I say this even in marriage, even in marriage, marriages are I'm saying this, relationships are fragile. Relationships are fragile. Especially these days. Years ago, when my parents were growing up, and you got married, you stay married. You didn't like the person, you just stay married.
Even
Today's time, divorce for $400. Oh, let's go get it.
295.
You go around line and get that done.
You can do it yourself and express mail the envelope, right? So it can happen real quick. You can be divorced in 6 weeks.
So you got to keep yourself interesting,
right?
And again, I'm saying this, and I know I'm probably upset some people. Did I say it before? I said you must, if you give somebody an ultimatum, you must be what they value. For example, if my wife said, I want you to change this, I want you to change this, or I would like for you to do this. In order for me to make that change, she must be valuable for me enough to make that change.
Mm-hmm. You
got to be valuable, whether you're talking about you dating or you're single. You must be valuable to that person. And that's not again. And so you got to look at this. If you're dating somebody and you want to get married, they don't want to get married. You ask yourself, how much do you value me? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, a person's value system is, again, how you're treated. People is nothing different than how you value a car. If you get a car, okay, and it's a brand new car, and you don't wash it, you don't get the oil change, you don't do the maintenance on it. Eventually, that nice new car is gonna go down the tube because you're not taking it. It's the same thing. When you get married or when you're in a relationship, the value system has to already be there before you even say I do. So that's the thing. How a person, I never forget my proposal. I thought it was cute. We were in the mall and my husband just said, you never said to me, what kind of ring you like? So I'm thinking, oh, okay, we're just gonna go in the jewelry store and we're gonna look at some ring. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking, he's looking. I picked okay, I'll show y'all in a minute. So next thing I know, he's like on one knee. Right here.
Okay. That's nice.
When somebody values you and they want to be with you, and this is whole from the bottom of my heart, I've learned this in relationships. You never have to make a person want to spend time with you. You never have to make a person want to talk to you. You never have to make a person tell you that they love you. You don't have to do any of that if they value you. If they're not doing that, forget about giving them an ultimatum of marriage.
Right.
The person is only going to treat you how they see you because they have your best interest at heart. So we work too hard, especially women, because we're so quick to say, well, if you don't do this, then if you don't no, if he really wants to be with you, you never have to give a man an ultimatum. He's going to know in his heart that you're the one, and that's going to be it. And sometime it may take 6 months, sometime it may take a year, sometime it may be on the spot. He may look at you and go, oh man, she's it. But you don't ever have to give somebody an ultimatum to be with you, because love is not forced, it's welcome.
Right.
So when you love you, you'll recognize that person genuinely wants you in their life, and they'll spend that time with you. Things won't, it won't be like this and then it goes down here. It'll be consistent. And building on communication. We something that Reverend J said, we women think because they got the bad body, okay, I got the looks, I got the body. It's a whole lot of good looking women out there, and it's a whole lot of good looking women with bad bodies, and they divorced and they getting dumped. Look at your movie stars. The most gorgeous ones, the elites, the ones that is way up here, they can't keep a man. Then let me know that there's something going on with you. Great looking face and your gorgeous body that you done paid all that
money.
You may want to go and find out what's going on the inside, because you can't keep somebody. So when you constantly looking at that person and you're like, man, she don't like her. What, J-Lo on her? I think she passed me. She on her fit. I done lost count. But I'm like, it's apparently not about your good looks and your great body, honey. And that
or your money.
Not all your money. And that's the thing. It can't even be about money, because you got rich people and women who think, oh, I got the European hair and the Brazilian this and that. And they get dumped because they have bad attitudes. I heard it was somebody, Terrence Howell, he said he wanted to holler at Holly Berry. And he said he had one conversation with her. He said, no.
Oh, yeah.
Attitude. No, man. It's like you all the way up here, but you constantly getting dumped. You have to stop and think. Is it life goes beyond the body and the face. That's the thing. You will never keep a man because you have sex with them, because they're gonna have sex with somebody else. You'll be in the rotation.
Exactly. So Joy, what's your thoughts about that value? A person value, a person they value you. I think you won't have to get an ultimatum. They value you. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, Shanique's mom said something on the show. Where Shanique was telling her that she took Randall on the show because she wanted him to marry her, and her mother said, "I'm sorry that you feel you don't feel worthy enough, and that you're forcing a man to feel like to try to force a man to know your value." She's like, as a mother, I feel sorry that you feel like you need to force a man to see the value in you, and you don't know the value in yourself. And that was, to me, that was so profound, because I was like, man, and for whatever reason that he had, and sometimes it's just that you're just not compatible.
Yeah.
But that's the way it should be when you talk about love. I feel like, and trust me, now I was a woman. I've given a lot of ultimatums. Most of them didn't work out. That's why I'm divorced. Right. But
exactly. It's okay, boy.
But I didn't see the value of myself and know that, look, the man that's for you or the woman that's for you, you don't have to be like, look, accept me, take me. Look, I'm telling you, take me. Look, this is what I offer. Here, look at my good quality. For the person that is meant for you, they already see that. You are all that to them. You don't have to continue to try to throw yourself on them. And I think psychologically, when you put ultimatums on people, then you start playing mind games, and it becomes this mind game of, oh, well, maybe I'll stop doing this, or maybe I'll start doing this, because maybe that may help the ultimatum go faster. And the thing about
you'll always second guess yourself.
Exactly.
Now you're changing. Every time you get somebody, well, he liked me like this, so now I'm gonna be like this. He liked me like this, now I'm gonna be like this. And you'll constantly find yourself changing for a person because pretty much you think you're actually giving yourself an ultimatum.
Exactly.
I gotta be like this in order to keep him. I gotta be like this in order to keep him.
Yeah.
And that's even worse when now you are constantly changing you and who you are. If a person,
they lost yourself.
If they can't love you, again, if you gotta force a person to tell you they love you, if you gotta force a person to be affectionate towards you, when you go out on the street and he don't want to hold your hand, he don't want to, he all the way up here and you all the way back here, that's a problem.
Yeah,
because I don't want to force you to walk with me. Well, if you don't, when we go out, if you don't hold my hand, then it's going to be something when we get back home. No, I don't.
Wow, that's not gonna work.
Why do I even have to go through all of that? Because the thing is, you should want to hold my hand. You should want to be walking next to me. So all of these things that we put ourselves through is unnecessary because a person, Maya Angelou said, when a person tells you who they are, believe them. So all you gotta do is look at the person, see how they're acting towards you. You'll know.
Yeah.
I think I said this, and I shared this a minute ago. I was doing marriage coaching, and one of my thoughts was this: that of course, when we talk about married people, to my people in a committed relationship, and again, you have to touch the person where they are emotionally and connect with them emotionally. And when I think about that, I'm learning how to play the keyboard. And I thought that that when you play keyboard, it's all about emotions, all about like your feelings, but it's not. It's all about notes. You need to, in order to play certain songs, you need to know what notes to play. And guess what? If you play those notes, you'll be able to play the song. So I've learned that in relationship, well, at least for a marriage relationship, your goal is to find your spouse notes and play them. And when you play those notes in response, they'll be willing to find your notes and play them for you. That's the way it should be. Now, when it comes to like dating, you should look for someone where you guys can play together. It should not be forced. You shouldn't beg somebody to spend time with you. You shouldn't beg someone, again. But again, I'm like this. I'm of the persuasion that you have to keep bettering yourself. You have to keep making yourself. You have like a job. You should keep working on your resume until you decide to retire. You should keep working on your resume. So in case that person leaves, because people leave for no reason. You can't stop people from leaving. But guess what? You have a resume, you have skills, you have qualities that someone else may like. So I think that a person who's dating should work on just working on yourself. Loving you. When you look in the mirror, you should say, "Oh, I like you." When you put your clothes on, you say, "Oh my gosh, You look good. You look good. This you're hot.
And if you can't say that, then it may be a little bit difficult for you to accept, but maybe
I
that's
learned that
what sees you.
people will put the same price tag on you that you put on yourself.
So that is so true.
But you need to put a realistic price tag on yourself.
Oh yeah. Like for example,
make sure that your price tag
correct.
is correct. Don't be like
unrealistic price
a bag
tag.
of potatoes. This is $200. No, it's not.
Well, the thing is, if you are on the clearance rack, you're going to draw people who look for
exactly.
If you're Marshall,
they go straight to that rack.
You may have been in the wrong store.
You're on the clearance rack in Walmart, but you were looking for the person that shops at Saks Fifth Avenue.
Exactly.
It don't work like that, baby. You got to come off the clearance rack.
Yeah,
so you got to figure out how to upgrade yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Do the work.
Because you got, like you said, some of these women, they're like, oh, I want him to be 6 feet tall, and I want him to have a bad body, and I want him to have all this money, and I want him, and then the guys too, they're like, oh, I want her to have long hair, and I want her to have this, and it's like, but you're on the clearance rack. You got to come off you got to come out the bargain store.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's a whole other show. I mean, we have Ladie Vee. We have you on a show on how to get a man.
I'm gonna have to put that. Look, I'm gonna beat you to it. We're gonna talk about it on the show because that is the truth. It's like people. They got all of this going on all the way up here, and it's like you look crazy. But look at this.
Sometimes they're in the wrong market. I'm telling you. I mean, even in business, I've learned that if depend upon what kind of client do you want, you gotta put yourself in that market. And guess what?
Your demographic.
Look at this. I'm in a group. I spend like about $1,000 a year to be in this group with about 100 other business owners. Now these people got money. You know, again, I have a service. Because they know other people that have money. So again, you can't expect to get a good man if you're only around people who hang around with dogs.
Ooh.
You don't think I'm sorry. And again, if you want me to, I can pull out Bible on you and show you that your environment, when God already blessed somebody, he took them out of their environment.
Yeah.
And you need to do your background. You need to find out if you want something, the same way it is when you go for a career. You can't say, oh, I want to be a doctor, but not know what it takes to become a doctor. You need to do your research.
Hang around doctors.
Exactly. And then pick up the practices.
You hang around butchers and plumbers.
Exactly.
You're not to learn how to be a doctor.
You're not going to be a doctor. And so think about it. If you want someone who carries themselves a certain way and have certain things, then you need to look and find out what lifestyles do these people have. They're not out smoking and drinking on the weekends. They're not going to the clubs on the weekends, tearing it up, popping bottles. That's not their lifestyle. These people are on the move. These people are reading. Now, if you don't want to read, then you talk about, but I want a man who's so educated and articulate.
Well, if you want a man to make some money, you gotta hope you read.
When last time you read a book?
Exactly. And I'm not even talking about Dr. Seuss either. Like, I need a real book.
That's real. That's real. But see, the thing about it is you change as you get older. We were talking about changing. When you're in your 20s, you look for certain things. When you're in your 20s, you look for certain things. When you're in your 40s, you look now. When you get in your 50s, now I'm telling my age, a lot of stuff I used to care about, I don't care about no more. My children are grown. I don't have everybody's out the house. So now, we kind of revert back to how it was when we was younger. Now the kids are looking at us like, are you on a bucket list or something? Because every time you come around, I'm doing something, they're like, she riding horses. She going
Who's that woman?
like, what do you even, you're from New Jersey. What do you even know about a trail ride? I don't, but I married the cowboy. So he said, and here's the thing. He told me, he said, you're going to be on this horse for a little bit. I think I rode the horse for about 4 hours, and I'm on this horse.
Oh,
wow.
Like,
yes, because the thing is, when you get to our age, now you just want to have fun. You're like, you're not thinking about all this other stuff that you used to think about. You like, oh, you don't think about sleep. Like my mom keep asking, well, aren't y'all tired? Where we tired from? Like, we don't have a care in the world. So your life changes, and but you got to know that, like I knew that whoever I got with, that person had to be fun, and that person had to be able to entertain me. That person has the biggest thing is they got to be a talker, and my husband is a talker because I'm a talker. So the thing is, I can't get with somebody that doesn't like to talk and doesn't like to go out, because I love to go and do things. So now, since we've been married, I done took up golf. I don't even know how to golf.
Oh wow!
Talking about.
He said, "I'll get you some cute outfits." That's all you have to say to me. Now, do I Mr. Tiger Woods? Heck no. But I look cute swinging. He said, "Let me take the picture so I can send it to your dad." That's I don't really care too much about really being out there sweating and all that, but I want to be cute. And he knows that we should pull, we do things that. Now I told him I wanted to go and I wanted to jump out the plane, and he was like, "How about if I take you to the little skydive place?"
Oh, Scott, yeah, that's
we ain't jumping out of no plane.
That's fine. Yeah, we did that.
But that's what you do when you get our age, because guess what? You don't have anybody else in your life except for you. So now you can kind of be kids again. You can kind of, laugh and have fun and be cool. So a lot of times what men are looking for, they're looking for light and sweet. Ladies over the age of 50, you need to learn how to be light and sweet, because when you come with all of the drama and you're constantly complaining and
a nasty attitude,
you got nasty attitude, you don't know how. My husband says you got to finesse, got to use your finesse, your nice words, honey, baby, sweetheart. Tone down. You can't be. They don't want you to be rolling your head and rolling your eyes and all of that. It's a turn off. So you gotta be sweet if you try to get. If that way, you won't have to give no ultimatum. You won't be having to sit there. If you're in by September, it's over. He gonna go okay, and he gonna leave you before September.
Exactly.
Oh man, this is good. Hey, we gotta wrap it up. This is an hour and 12 minutes. We're 12 minutes over, so but this is good. We're gonna have Ladie Vee on again, definitely. Definitely. We thank you for coming on our show.
Yes, thank y'all for having me. This was fun. Listen, I've known these guys since they're little bitty babies. Joy, you was in diapers, girl. You was cute then, and you still cute.
Yeah, so it was good. Then we definitely have you on again for another show. But guys, so first, do Ultimatum work or not? Ladie Vee? That's you? Yes, you.
Exactly.
That again. So Ladie Vee, do Ultimatum work?
No, absolutely not.
Do Ultimatum work?
No.
Well, I think they do, depending upon the situation.
I mean, you'll get a response. What?
Okay. Well, again, these things must be lined up. One, the person must actually want what you are giving them an ultimatum to do. They must actually want it. Two, they must think you're valuable enough to make that change, because some people need a push. Okay, you need to change. I want you to change. But again, I think those two elements must be in place in order for ultimatum to work out. Because again, on a show, the guy, he immediately grabbed his woman and married her and said, "I'm gonna marry you," because he now see her value. That we don't need to go through this process. I see if I choose you after he's been talking to other people, like, oh man, these people probably, weird, all these issues, like I'll do the one I value. So again, I think they work, but again, I think those elements must be in place in order for them to go in your favor.
Absolutely.
So once again, Ladie Vee, thank you for coming on. Joy phone died. Mine's about to die in a minute. But you had a great time. I hope you guys all enjoyed the show. If you can, go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, so you get notified when we come on. And again, we'll be seeing you again next week on Friday. We can talk about some how to save some money by mistake.
All right.
Other than that, see you guys later, and have a good night. Bye.
Bye, everybody.